Now, this is one of the more difficult subjects to discuss, and it's spiritual bypassing. And spiritual bypassing is something that people are going to do. Everybody does it until they do shadow work. And what is shadow work? People think it's like evil. You know, we all have a shadow. It's not evil. So first we got to get rid of that belief that there's good feelings and bad feelings. Okay, get rid of that belief. Feelings are just feelings. They're indicators. Don't forget, we are human. So we are supposed to experience feelings and not suppress them, not shove them down. So spiritual bypassing happens when, and I've talked about this a lot. So if you've already heard this, you know, I'm like not the positive vibes only person. Even though I'm a law of attraction teacher, I do not teach positive vibes only, because you are teaching people to suppress their feelings, to deny and shove down their feelings, which is not healthy in any way, shape, or form. That's why people get triggered, because you're not doing that work to heal yourself. So our shadow is basically just going to be that unhealed wounds, rejected parts of ourselves that we don't want to acknowledge. We want to pretend it's not there. And in the spiritual community, it is prevalent. The spiritual bypassing happens because people tend to say all the right things. You know, they can say love and light and all these beautiful things, positive vibes only, or they can actually talk. Really intelligent people, as if they're healed, but you got to go by their actions. You know, there's so many things that people can do. One of them is like projecting triggers. Okay. And what that means is somebody says something to you, and it could be just constructive criticism or just regular communication. But, you know, someone might be sensitive, and so they might be offended by something said. And they never want to look at themselves or take responsibility or any accountability. So they're like, I'm going to protect my energy and go no contact. Now, no contact is important if you're in an abusive situation. But a lot of spiritual people will go no contact. I got to protect my energy because they don't want to deal with the situation. It's avoiding conflict. It's running away instead of dealing with it. It's blaming others, projecting triggers. So it's not about you. You don't have to work on yourself because that other person has a problem. So you can see that's spiritual bypassing, because you're bypassing the work that you really should be like looking like, well, hey, maybe this person is communicating something to me that I need to take a look at within myself. You know, I love it when people tell me the truth about things. I would always rather have a truth than a lie or people omit things from me. I love full transparency, because even some negative feedback I can learn from it. I can grow from it. And maybe it's not even, maybe I might not accept it, but at least tell me the truth. Don't lie to me. I don't like sugar-coated BS. You know what I mean? So something else is that in this spiritual bypassing is people can tend to believe they are, you know, morally superior or they get spiritually competitive, right? And then they judge others. I don't know if, you know, I probably have a lot of spiritual people. You wouldn't be watching me if you weren't a little bit into this stuff, because I talk about law of attraction and some kind of woo-woo stuff all the time. So have you ever experienced that where there's spiritual competitiveness, or, you know, they think they know more than you, or, you know, well, I'm psychic, so I know this is true. I'm here to tell you, like, psychics, they might be good with other people, but when it comes to anything about themselves, most of them will admit to you they suck. They suck when it comes to dealing with their own, because they're too close to it, you know, to be able to see the truth regarding their own personal life. Okay. So like they might think they're above you. There is no above and below. We're all just having different experiences on different frequencies, and it's okay. Another one is wearing a mask, okay? This is spiritual bypassing. You know, it's just like you're pretending to be something you're not. You're not living your true authentic life. I always talk about authenticity and how liberating it is to not, you know, if people who know me in real life, not just from social media, they will tell you I'm the same person both places. I don't have a mask that I wear, but a lot of people, you know, they wear a mask. And I'm not only talking about spiritual community, you guys, I'm talking about everybody. But the spiritual bypassing thing tends to happen when people first begin their spiritual awakening, and they're like, oh, you know, like positive vibes only. And then they want to suppress all their thoughts and push things down. And they think they actually get scared of their own thoughts instead of embracing them and embracing parts of ourselves, you know. And so we got to get rid of that good and bad, you know, because there is no good and no bad. It's more about like observing ourselves without the judgment. Observation without judgment. That's how we can be neutral, and that's how we can grow without that ourselves up. So my phone almost is about to die. So I better get through this fast. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is, yeah, that false positivity. I've called it in the past toxic positivity, same thing. It's just pretending to be a certain way when you're not. Like you pretend that you're always good, all good, but the reality is behind closed doors, you're extremely emotional and extremely affected by things, but you put on this facade to other people. You know, you're going to be more relatable the more vulnerable you are, the more honest you are, the more transparent you are. So that false mask that people wear it's not really doing you any good, because you know most people can feel the energy and see through that. And just start telling yourself, instead of rejecting parts of yourself that you don't like, start telling yourself like, hey, I can face anything. I can face criticism. You're an eternal soul. You know, you are here. You're so powerful. You're a powerful creator. So don't run and hide from criticism. Don't run and hide from growth. That's literally why we're here. We're here as eternal souls, expanding and growing, and embrace it. I love being triggered lately because I really like to see like, okay, well, this is interesting. This is interesting. That's observing without judgment. This is something that I need to work on still. You know, I've been triggered by, I had this bad vibration going on with people canceling on me at the last minute. It was crazy. It happened to me 4 times in 1 week. 3 of them were podcasts. 1 of them was a friend. And I was like, you know, that has to be my vibe, right? That has to be me. I'm the common denominator. So it was because I wasn't able to observe without judgment. I wasn't able to stay neutral. I had to switch my vibe. It was me. And this is part of like working on your shadow self, is being able to recognize, hey, I'm the common denominator. I need to change myself so that I stop attracting this last minute cancellation, these people who are disrespecting me. It's always us attracting, and the world is our mirror. So embrace being human. That's my last note, is embrace being human. It is okay to have good feelings and bad feelings both together. We all are going up and down. And like I said, there is not really good or bad. But of course, we prefer to feel joy. We prefer to be in that high level of bliss and appreciation. I call it being in the vortex. I got that from Abraham Hicks. My license plate on my car even says Vortex and 8, which is my life path. So Vortex 8, like I live by that, you know, like just that is my goal, is to be in the vortex as much as possible. But when I'm out of it, which is inevitable on a daily basis, I'm not always up there living in bliss and joy. I use that as an indicator. Okay, well, what next step do I need to take? And I observe it without judging myself for the most part. Sometimes I judge myself sometimes, but I catch myself when I'm doing that, and I turn things around so I don't have that downward spiral that I used to have, you know, and everything used to be drama. You know, I couldn't handle the slightest criticism, you know, in my 20s especially. That was a really rough time. So I hope this helps somebody. I hope you understand shadow work, spiritual bypassing. I didn't get into it too deeply. I could probably talk for, you know, a few days on this topic, but let me know if it made sense to you, if you have any examples of any shadow work that you've done, or rejected parts of yourself that you have healed. I would love to hear about it in the comments below. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day.